Hi there everybody, I hope this video finds you all well. Thank you so much for stopping by. In today's video, I am going to show you all of our sinking funds and how we close out our sinking funds. My name is JoJo. If you're new stopping by here, on this channel I share with you our family's journey to financial freedom, and my videos share how we are learning how to budget, how we are kind of multitasking with our money. We're paying down debt, we're investing, saving, and also part of this savings is sinking funds. So if that is something you'd be interested in following along with, we can learn and grow together, then please consider subscribing. I would love to have you along with me on this journey. In today's video, like I said, we're going to be doing sinking funds. We're closing out sinking funds for the month of February. When I first started budgeting, I didn't even know what that term was. But if you are like me and did not know what sinking funds were, they're essentially mini savings accounts with an intended purpose. Like, you know, you are going to be saving this money. They can typically be budget busters as well. So these, I have many sinking funds. This is not what we originally started with. It kind of morphed and grew as I became more familiar with our budget and more familiar with our family's needs. And back when we had a six-figure debt, we're now down to a little over $20,000 in non-mortgage debt. But back when we had that six-figure debt, it was overwhelming. I wasn't focused a lot on sinking funds. Like I said, we didn't even have them for probably the first 6 months that we started budgeting. But the ones we really started with more so was home maintenance and car maintenance, and then some of our subscriptions that we knew were expensive. And as things kind of came up and I was noticing certain categories that had needs that were intermittent and could be expensive, things like pictures, things for my kids, our pets, more like expensive pet visits. We just had a pet go to the vet for immunizations and surgery. Christmas is always a big one. But these are things that kind of morphed as we became familiar. So don't ever think that your sinking funds need to match someone else's. Sinking funds, I feel like sinking funds and variable expenses are where a budget can really become personalized, because it depends on your goals and it depends on the size of your shovel and your lifestyle. So yeah, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how I track them. These are my paycheck budget sheets. During my weekly check-ins, I will track sinking funds on my paycheck budget sheet. And the paycheck budgets I'm going to be using are paycheck number 2 from January. It ran from January 27th to February 9th, and then paycheck number 1 for February. So it captures February the best for me because it goes from the end of January through near the end of February. January 27th until February 23rd are the sinking fund transactions I am looking at. And they're all right here. I do have an Excel spreadsheet that I use to help me kind of calculate the numbers, because I don't do rounding. You absolutely could. It may be something I consider in the future, but for right now, I enjoy having the exact numbers in here. We're going to first start with any additional contributions. These boxes over here are the set amounts. There have been a couple changes. Our car maintenance, I used to contribute $200 to this every month. This is a lot to go towards car maintenance, but all of our vehicles are paid off. We have 3 cars and a motorhome, and we need to register, get tags on all of them, and maintain all of them. And since they are paid off, you know, they're older vehicles, they are still in very good shape. They are makes of a vehicle that are known for their longevity. So as long as we maintain them well, they should treat us well. But I want to get this built up for when we do need a new vehicle, we have a nice chunk of change as well. Next is our pet sinking fund. As I mentioned, we had a pet, my puppy, or our family puppy. He got neutered. He also needed to get all of his vaccines done. So I had some cash flow from January, and I used $300 of that to add additional to this pet sinking fund because I knew I needed to beef it up for that expensive pet visit. Then this electronic sinking fund, it normally gets $200. I have a really old computer, you guys. You probably hear the fan huffing and puffing throughout my videos because it is working hard. It is old. So I am saving this for a computer, but this is also for cell phones when we need batteries for any devices, anything electronics related. I even use it for some subscriptions, like my husband's PlayStation. And we had a refund for $24.99, so that was added additional here. Next is this dad bod and my face. My husband and I each get $80 of spending money per paycheck. Whenever we don't spend all of that money, the surplus, which is noted here, is added to these sinking funds. And that can build up to allow us to still spend money on some of those more expensive hobbies or beauty purchases, outings with friends or family, clothes, things like that. So for my husband, he had $79.14 to be able to contribute. That is awesome for him. Next is me. I had $26.25 that I could contribute. That made our total contribution to sinking funds $2,030.38. Now we get to move over to what did we use for February. Our home maintenance, we had to kick in a little extra for a computer security. It's this Norton over here. So there was $14.99 that we used from that. Next, our waste management quarterly bill. So this comes out every 3 months. I have it as a sinking fund. It was $86.73. Car maintenance, we were registering and getting moving permits and things like that for vehicles. That was $40.92. Norton, the total subscription, it normally is $120. They increased it to $134.99. I had $120, if you see the $110 plus the $10 to use, so that remaining $14.99 I just pulled from home maintenance. Family, let me see, we didn't use anything from there. Kids, there's always stuff coming out of this. My daughter's karate comes out every month from here, and clothes, just whatever kids need. I use this as our back to school. Pets, this was $557.56. So when I went in for his original vet visit, when he was just getting his vaccines and his wellness check, I'd asked for a quote for the neuter and for the remaining vaccines, so I could come back to my sinking funds and know how much money I needed to add to this to be able to pay everything in full. And having a budget, it allows you to plan ahead like that, because before it just was always a surprise to me. I just paid it and kind of felt the pain and then moved on. But this way I'm able to plan. It's not as stressful. Next is birthdays. This is gifts and holidays. This helped us cover Valentine's Day, and then my husband, whose birthday is in March, he'd already purchased his present. His was $200, so we spent about $90.61 on Valentine's. I have a kid in preschool, and then my daughter is in 3rd grade. So it was school activities and then little treats for them. And then my husband had also purchased me some flowers and chocolates and things. So my thing for my husband, I think, was about $45. So it was about $45 for kids, $45 for me, which seems pretty reasonable. Next is electronics. This was for a couple subscriptions. I think we'd also needed some batteries or something to maintain our other electronics. And then I had tapped into this category. I spent $53.96. That leaves our total spent at $1461.54. Let me add my little dollar sign. Okay. I'm going to quickly add in all of our remaining and come back and close out this video with you guys. Okay, so I have all of the ending after I add, subtract. This is what we are left with. We are all in the positive. Sometimes some of my sinking funds have dipped into the negative. It's usually kids and holidays. So I try to kind of shift around where money's contributed to if I notice that I am going negative consistently. But everything's in the positive. We are good there. We're starting off March to a great start. And all of this adds to $7,213.91. Okay, that is it. That is how I close out my sinking funds. If you have sinking funds, let me know how you track your sinking funds. Where do you keep your sinking fund money? Where are you prioritizing your money to go? Are you like us and kind of multitasking with paying off debt, investing, and saving? I would love to hear how other people are doing their budget. Thank you all so much for stopping by. This is the last video for the week. I will see you guys next week with our expense tracking, and I am planning to start a new expense tracking system. Not really sure how that's going to look, but stay tuned for that.